Freezing drizzle. Roads will be the most impacted here, mainly because we spent so many days with temperatures well below freezing. All of our pavement temperatures are pretty much below freezing, especially going into this event. Tonight, temperatures, of course, drop much colder again, although not as cold as recent nights, still in the low and mid-20s with wind chills in the teens. That kind of sets the stage for the wintry weather that's moving in tomorrow. We're going to look at it hourly so you can prepare throughout the day tomorrow, coming up in just a few minutes.
Jennifer, thank you. There are still several local snow closures. Snowman 6 is scrolling at the top of your screen right now. You can also find the full list and all our weather coverage at WPSDLocal6.com. It's been almost 6 months since historic flooding damaged multiple businesses and homes in our area. Remember, parts of Graves County set a Kentucky state record for 24-hour rainfall. Some are still dealing with those impacts, and now these dangerously cold temperatures. Local 6's Callie Stone joins us live from Priorsburg, Kentucky tonight. Callie, you talked to one of those flood victims today, right?
Jen, right now I'm standing in Debbie Travis's home. As you can see, she's still dealing with a lot of damage from the flooding, but as they've been putting things back together piece by piece, here's one important one she showed me today. They have got their electricity back. But as one good thing happens, another thing's come up because of the cold weather.
This has become a depository for all of our junk.
This is Debbie Travis. Her home flooded back in July, and she spent a lot of time trying to put it back together. But it's not easy.
If it was just the floors, it wouldn't be as bad, but it's the floors, it's the walls, it's the electrical, it's the plumbing, it's all of it.
In the meantime, she's been staying at Camp Graves, and she says she's thankful for their help. But as temperatures drop, Micah Sievers says they faced weather problems of their own.
Even with all those precautions, we still had pipes freeze up, and we've still had hoses freeze up. You try, you do your best, but you can only do so much.
That includes Debbie's place. Sievers says they're almost finished getting water back to the campers.
It's cold out, and with cold comes problems.
While the camper will be ready soon, Travis still has her home in mind.
I have to work, and I'm also the one working on this. We're not getting help with this, so we're not getting volunteers. We're not getting any kind of financial anything.
So
right
sad.
now, Travis is staying with family, but she plans to work on her home every chance she gets. Live in Priorsburg, Kentucky, Callie Stone, WPSD Local 6.
Okay, Callie, thank you. A record-breaking day of energy in this part of the country, too. TVA says today they saw the highest amount of energy used in the company's 91-year history. As you can imagine, it's the recent cold, snow, and wind that's contributing to that spike in consumption.
Are you noticing the pattern here where the, all-time record rainfall in that one county? All-time record electricity use. And you keep hearing that again and again and again with the newscasters ordinarily. All-time record highs, all-time record this, all-time record that. There's a pattern. And the pattern is consistent towards things getting even more severe. So whenever Dennis James Jackson, the founder of the Windmill Ministries, put out warnings in 2007 up around western Kentucky, basically from Grand Rivers to Calvert City, Benton, up toward Paducah, Kentucky, and all the little communities in between, he was trying to warn people and tell them about major electrical disturbances to come. And it's not just this area that we've seen major electrical disturbances. Just within the past couple weeks, there's been all kinds up in Wisconsin, Indiana, parts of Illinois, parts of New York, northern New York. I mean, I could go on and on and on about these electrical disturbances. Look what happened out west with all the fires. It got so hot out there that they was breaking all-time records. Look what happened down in Texas, pertaining to a massive heat wave down there that their grid system couldn't handle the demands. And the thing about it is, as we get further into this, it's only going to get worse in the extremes and how harsh the extremes can actually be. It's only going to get worse. On every perspective, from floods to fires, from tornadoes to hurricanes, to earthquakes to volcanoes, you name it. You name it. Because that's part of the analogy that Jesus taught towards that as you shall see the days approaching, that no flesh shall be saved. The storms, the irregular weather patterns, the imbalances pertaining to what mankind has done to the planet Earth and pertaining to all the sin in the world is their own fault. It ain't just OPEC's fault. It ain't just the oil producing company's fault. It's all of our faults. It's all of our faults. But the fact of the matter is, Dennis Jackson, the guy that's speaking in behind the mic right now, still has yet to get any kind of formal or informal apology out of any of those surrounding counties that basically wanted to bury me. A matter of fact, Dennis Jackson hadn't even got an apology from his own county in Northwest Tennessee pertaining to Weakley County, in how that they was trying to brand me towards me being a homegrown terrorist in 2005 after dropping off Bible literature. This was about the same time that the FBI got involved towards looking at me, and they actually thought that I had graves, dead people buried up in LBL that I had killed and drug up there to bury. And that ain't counting what happened out in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, whenever I went out there and investigated them. So I can go on and on and on about these patterns. And if people can't see that, it's obvious. They either don't want to see it or they're incapable of seeing it.
Local 6's Jane Kent talked to leaders. She is live from a home in Graves County, Kentucky tonight. So Jane, what else is TVA telling us tonight?
Jen, they're asking for people to reduce energy consumption during cold temperatures like this. Homes like these are powered by West Kentucky Rural Electric, which partners with TVA. The electric company says that anything you can do to help reduce energy consumption is a big help. That can mean things like reducing time on your microwave and on your stovetop.
Even little things can make a huge impact, and so we were able to see that over the night, that people really did reduce their load, and it made a difference on TVA's grid.
At 6, hear from a lineman with West Kentucky Rural Electric about working in the cold and the most challenging part about his job. Live in Graves County, Kentucky, Jane Kin, WPSC Local 6.
Jane, thanks. TVA says the all-time record peak today was 34,500 megawatts. The previous record was back in August of 2007 with a little more than 33,400 megawatts. So
that's a lot of juice. That's a lot of juice. Unbelievable. Going from one extreme to another, and I think that I know what they was talking about. Let me back it up one more time.
Schools and churches.
I want to kind of verify this real quick. Hang on one second. Right here.
Live in Graves County, Kentucky, Jane Kin, WPSC Local 6.
Jane, thanks. TVA says the all-time record peak today was 34,500 megawatts. The previous record was back in August of 2007 with a little more than...
That was it, August 2007. It was 2007 whenever I was up there trying to warn them people about major electrical disturbances. And basically it got so hot, it sweltered all of East Tennessee. Matter of fact, that's whenever they had all those fires, and Miss Dolly contributed, I don't know how many millions of dollars toward trying to help people that got burnt homes. But it also dried up Okeechobee River. It dried up the water supply there in Atlanta, Georgia. I mean, there was extreme problems that year, and this is a reflection of it towards that was a record that was set in 2007 of all the droughts, all the heat. It got so hot that I think it was one of the Alabama electrical services down there on the Tennessee River. They actually had to stop the grids because it was getting so hot and the water was so low that they was afraid it was going to burn their electrical grids up. I think that was the dam, the Wilson Dam, I think it was the name of it, that they had to shut down temporarily because it got so hot. We're seeing these extremes again and again and again. Keep in mind, it was 2007 whenever I was up around the Kentucky, Grand Rivers, Benton, Calvert City, Paducah, Kentucky area, whenever they decided that they was going to slap handcuffs on me and try to promote me as me being a homegrown terrorist, because prior to that, 2 years prior to that, right here in Weakley County, they tried to do the same thing towards passing out Bible literature and charging me with falsifying files that Benjamin Dempsey in Huntington, the attorney, basically was part of that scam towards trying to ruin my life. The deal with Damian Cross occurred in my life in 1983 in Kenton, Tennessee, which is in Obion County. And then, of course, whenever I went out west and I investigated that little ordeal, we see how that basically turned out, that that the facts pertaining to what I had found not only in Mount Carmel, Waco, Texas, but also in the Oklahoma bombing was in fact true, towards it being a major cover-up on both perspectives. A major cover-up towards not revealing the whole truth to the American people. But yet now, whenever we go to court, they want us to stand, hold our hand on a Bible, preferably, and swear. Do you swear to tell the truth? Nothing but the truth. The whole truth, so help you God? How come we, us, the citizens of this great nation, we have a certain set of standards to live by, but our government officials does not? You wonder how come things is going haywire? That's why. The people are not standing up and getting these people out of their positions that they're in. And trust me, they're not going to volunteer and walk out. No. You keep in mind, they've already made commitments. They've got 2 or 3 homes. They got vacation homes. They got yachts. They got this. They got that. They're putting their nieces and their nephews in college. They got all these obligations. They're not